Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you are safe, I hope you are doing well, I hope you are making money as usual. So in this video I'll teach you guys exactly how to use imbalances to enter trade and how to use imbalances to get out of your trade. Okay, so as you can see in front of my screen right now, I have two imbalances. This one price came and then tab it bought, and then this one price just went through without reversing. So this one was imbalance for entry, and then this one was an imbalance for a target. So if you bought somewhere here, you can target the end of this imbalance as your TP, or if you have this price pullback, you enter from this and then you buy, you target this. So this one is the entry type imbalance, and this is the exit type imbalance. So how do you make the differences between the exit type imbalance and the entry type imbalance? Okay, so let me try to first explain what imbalances are. I'm just gonna take like 30 seconds. So for an imbalance to occur, you want to make sure that you have three candles. Let's say we have this guy, and this guy. Okay, so as you have three candles, make sure you mark the wick of this and then you mark the wick of this. So the wick of the first candle and the wick of the last candle. So now you put your box from this to this and then you extend. So the space between the wick to wick, which doesn't have any wick, so everything here is body. So this is what we call by imbalance. Some of you guys may already know, but I want to make sure that everyone knows what imbalances are before we can start going to the main topic. So now, how do you know if price is coming to fill it or price coming to reverse from it? Okay, so first thing is the size of the imbalance. If I have an imbalance created by news, or at least like a very big imbalance, okay, what I'm saying very big is you have an imbalance for like 10 pips, 20 pips, let's say 20 pips above. So if you have imbalance of 20 pips above, for me, I expected that one to be a TP, not like a zone that I can enter from. So let's say that price does this, and then let's say price does this. All right, so if price did this, and let's say this whole thing is an imbalance, I cannot look to buy from any of these zones in there. Like I'll be looking at price and then looking to buy. I don't do that. So instead what I do is, if price is selling down, I'll be selling price and then target at least 50% of the imbalance. That would be your target. I can target the whole imbalance. So what you do is you sell and then you target until the imbalance is filled. That would be what your TP. But you don't look to buy from huge imbalances. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So now let me come on the chart. I will show you guys what I'm saying. It's pretty simple. So we have one of them here. We can see that we have news, I think NFP. I think I've made a video on this NFP, so you can go and check it for me. So you have this, right? This is an imbalance. So how do you know if price is coming to do this? As here you can see that some people probably looking to sell from this one. How do you know if price coming to do this, or if price gonna come to fill the whole thing? So as you see how big this thing is, let me try to measure it for you. From here to here you have like 20 pips, and as I said, if you have something 20 pips above, make sure you use that as what TP. You don't use it for entry. Okay, so when you have something like 10 pips, 20 pips, let's say 20 pips is even way better. So in this case you have 20 pips. So what you do is, instead of looking to sell this thing inside of this, you try to instead buy to fill the whole thing. So let me go to like the 1 minute chart. I'll try to see if I can get some entry somewhere down here. All right, so I'm on the 1 minute chart right now, so let me see if I can get some entry. So let's see if I can get this guy. Let's say that you had a buy here. Okay, let's say you had some buy somewhere here, and then you are targeting some upside liquidity or something. So if for me I'm able to buy this, my TP is going to be this. Some people, especially ICT traders, most of them, when they have something like this, then they will be looking to sell inside of it. Or even some SMC traders, they will try to sell inside of this. You don't do that. When you have a big this thing like this, you buy and then you fill the whole thing. You don't try to trade against the big imbalance. Okay, it's not a zone that price is gonna reverse from. Price just coming to fill the whole thing. And this is just an example, one of them. I can show you like plenty example of what I'm saying. So we have one here on the H4. So on this H4, what do I see? I see that we have what, a huge imbalance here. So if I have this huge imbalance, some people, when price just enter inside of this, they'll be looking to buy. You don't do that. For me, what I'll be doing is I will instead sell to fill the imbalance. I hope that makes sense. And for this, maybe you may tell me that okay, price didn't fill the whole thing. Yeah, you may be right, but you have to analyze everything because you have what, a breaker block. So that was the main reason why price did not fill the whole imbalance. So when you use imbalances even as TP, you sell, you target the imbalance, and make sure that if you see any sort of zone that price can reverse from, make sure you use that zone as TP. Okay, so as you have a big one, make sure you have those imbalances as TP, but not a zone that you can enter from. I hope that makes sense. The same way you have here, let's say you have this imbalance here. So I don't know how big this one is, but you can see that price when it filled the whole thing before going down. So instead of me looking to sell when price just come tap the imbalance or inside the imbalance, I'll be looking to buy until price fill the whole imbalance before I look to sell to the downside. I hope that makes sense. And that happened again and again. You have one more example here. You have this whole thing here. So what price did, price came, it filled the whole thing, and then it went down. I hope that makes sense. Again and again and again. And I think you even have one more here that you have this. So what did price do? Price came, it filled everything before going up. So inside here, you don't look to buy, you don't look to buy, you don't look to buy. You make sure you sell so that the whole thing get filled. And then when price tap a zone, at least liquidity point or POI, then you'll be interested into looking for reversal. But first thing, when you see imbalance, make sure you use that imbalance as a target. Don't use it as a zone that you can enter from. You have one of them here again. What price did? Of course, you fill the whole thing. So what do you do when you are down here? You buy so that you fill the whole thing, and then you now look to sell later. But some people, when price is just in there, they start selling. You sold here, maybe would have made a small money, but then price definitely created a new high to fill up the gap. So that's what price does most of the time. When you have a big gap, price will definitely come and fill it. So make sure you use it as a target, you don't use it as entry. So now, how do you use those gaps for entries? For me to use gap for entry, I have to look at the POI side first, especially POIs. Okay, so let's say last time, or was it yesterday, I made a video about like POIs. I think I did a POI, something like this. So if you have this guy as a manipulative high, and then there is a gap here, something like a fair value gap. If you have a fair value gap right below your POI, and then you may have maybe some liquidity point down here, if I have this case, then I will probably look to sell here. I don't know if that makes sense. The fact that I will do that is because price first is hunting for liquidity, and then as the liquidity is taken, it might fill the gap or the fair value gap and then give me a sell. I want to make sure that this gap is not way too big. So if this gap is like, I don't know, 5 pips or 2 pips or something, and then price come here, then I know that it has to fill the gap, mitigate this guy. Might also sometimes come to this guy as well, give a sell, that's fine. But it's not actually worth for me to buy for like, I don't know, a 2 pips move or 5 pips move. It's only when it's big, then I look to buy to fill it. But when it's small, I just look for what? Reversal from it, and especially look with what? Confirmation entry. So as I said this, now let me go back on the chart to show you some examples of what I'm saying. You can go and backtest, make sure you backtest a lot to really get it. So when I zoom here, what am I seeing? I can see that we have what? A fair value gap here, right? Price bought, it created a fair value gap, and then it dropped, it filled it, and then bought. So this, I'm not interested to sell and fill it, but I can look to buy from it, because even if you look at the size is very small. It's like 2 pips or even 1 pip. And not only that, right below that fair value gap, you have what? In another block, you have a POI. And is that the right POI? Yes, because this guy took liquidity. So if this guy took liquidity and then left some fair value gap and price pull back, you tap it, and then you look to do what? You buy to the upside. And the same thing keep happening again and again. You have a new fair value gap, price created here, price pull back, tap it. I'm not saying that you should be entering from every single fair value gap you get. If you have this guy's fair value gap, you make sure anything below should be what? Some sort of another block or the POI. I hope that makes sense. The same way you have here, you can have maybe this thing as what? A fair value gap. This is way too small, but yeah, you have a fair value gap there. So what did price do? He pulled back, he mitigated, he bought. And as that happen, you also have what? You have another block here. So if I have another block and then I have a fair value gap, then yeah, that's actually pretty much what I'm looking for. I hope you guys get that. The same thing you have here, you have some sort of a fair value gap at this zone. All right, you have yeah, you have this fair value gap. So as you do have this fair value gap, you also have a POI here. So if I have a POI, I have a fair value gap, then this is what is sell scenario to the downside. I hope that makes sense. So this is how you can make the difference between a fair value gap or an imbalance that will play out, or that will actually reverse, or an imbalance that price will just come and fill it. As big as this, there's no way I can look to sell inside of that thing. So what I'll do is I'll just keep buying to fill the whole thing. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And that happened again and again. You can go and back this, you see that happen again and again. The same case, you have it here. You see this big imbalance here. Do you see what happened? Price went through it. So what I do is, if I would be looking to buy here, I'll buy, and all of this is gonna be what? A TP for me. I wouldn't be looking to sell here or sell here, because I know that price has to do what? Fill the whole thing, unless there is some sort of liquidity or other blocks, something that can make this thing go down. Just an imbalance, I just see this as a target. This should be what? A TP for you, not a zone that you can start trading against. I hope that makes sense. So let me see if I can get you guys more explanation or more cases. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. You can go and backtest. Make sure you backtest. The more you backtest, the better you'll understand, and then the best it is. Okay, because when you backtest, let's say that let's look at something. Okay, so if you learn something new and then you backtest, and as you backtest you see that good result, then you'll get more confident when you trade live. But when you don't backtest and then you see it live, you might not be confident enough to take, because you never know if it's gonna play out or not. You might see in a video someone saying that it's playing out, but as far as you did not really see on your chart playing out, you may be a bit confused. So I think this is pretty much about imbalance, how to use it the right way. So if you guys do have any sort of question, you can always tag me on the comment section and ask me your question. I'm going to reply to you. And if you are interested into learning my full strategy, everything about forex trading, what I know, make sure you check the link in the description of this video. You have my mentorship there. You can join the mentorship, and then I will teach you from A to Z how to trade, how to scalp, how to get to the level I am. Thank you very much.